Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas, and today is episode 1 of our How to Surf Better tutorials, and the topic, backside roundhouse cutbacks. This is going to be fun. Sit back, get your favorite drink, enjoy the show. Now, if you're new to our How to Surf Better tutorials, this is how it works. We'll take a topic, so backside roundhouse cutbacks. We put episode 1 out on YouTube free of charge. Now, that's what you're watching now. We work on a couple things at a time so we don't overwhelm you. But episode 2 is already done. So you just click the link below, become a patron, so you pledge $5 for the month, and it unlocks exclusive content. Now, each topic, like backside roundhouse cutbacks, is a series. And the deeper we go in that series, the more advanced it gets. All right, enough about that. Let's have a look at a couple waves and see what we're working on in this episode. Now, I adjust my feet here, quick bottom turn, nice snap. Right into a bottom turn and start the roundhouse cutback, rebound off that white water, able to get one more roundhouse and rebound. Let's slow down, look at it again. Now as I drop in, I take a split second, adjust both feet, set my bottom turn, and on this backside snap, I want to pause it. Let's get in close. I just want to point out that my back foot is all the way back on the kick of my traction pad so I can get nice, precise turns. Now on the way down, I want to point out that my front foot is closer to the heel side rail. Because I'm surfing backside, if I keep my heel closer to the heel side rail, when I come out of this turn, I can go right into my bottom turn and set that heel side rail real quick, and then I can initiate at the top of the wave my cutback. So look at how high I'm at the wave. I have all this wave face to go down and generate speed. Now as I come around, I want to point out that my head's looking back at the power source and the board's going to follow. Now, on the way back to the power source, I'm staying at the middle of the wave. So you see how my board's way up here? I have all this to still go down to generate speed. Now, when I hit this whitewash and rebound, I have all this to come down to generate speed, set that inside rail, make a shallow bottom turn, and start another roundhouse cutback all over again. Now, this wave's a bit bigger, so one quick pump, good speed, shallow bottom turn, nice cutback, rebound off the whitewater. Let's slow it down, look at it again. Now on this wave, I stayed high on purpose. I got one quick pump to maximize speed. Then I go to the bottom, do a nice shallow bottom turn, initiate this cutback at the top of the wave right here. So I have all this to go down to generate that speed. And I want to focus on right here. I'm about middle of the wave and I still have that much to go down to gain speed. But now I'm going to use the whitewash by rebounding. After I hit it, I have this much to go down to set that heel side rail, come off the bottom with good speed, and do whatever I want on the wave face again. Now that we've seen a couple waves, before I start talking about the backside roundhouse cutback, I want to address our feet position. You saw me on wave number 1. I got to my feet, I adjusted them quickly, and then I went into a bottom turn and getting that first snap. When I adjust my feet, I'm pushing my back foot all the way back to the tail kick. I want to feel my foot back there. Why? It's the only way to get nice, precise turns. Now, I'm also scooting my front foot where I want it to be. And this is really important too. I see a lot of intermediate, even advanced level surfers don't like to go backside very much because it's hard for you guys to get your bottom turns. And I actually had a really good buddy of mine who mostly surfs frontside at his home break, so he doesn't surf backside very much. We were at BSR Surf Resort, and you do half the hour frontside and the other half hour backside. And he couldn't settle his backside bottom turn to come up and do his top turn. He said, what am I doing wrong? Or how can I do it better? And this guy's a good surfer. And I said, look, one of the things that I notice is that when you stand up and you're on your board and you're going backside, your feet are pretty centered. And I'm not talking about the width of his stance. I'm talking about his front foot being more in the middle of the board as opposed to more on the heel side rail or even more on the toe side rail. Just giving you a good mental picture of what I'm talking about. I told him that when you stand up, make a conscious note, do your best to maybe have your front foot closer to the rail. So when you go to push on your heel side bottom turn, your board's going to stick and you'll have something to push off of. Why is that? because water adheres to curve. And if the rail looks like this curve right here, the water's gonna stick to it. And it's almost like he's putting a wedge in the water because he's standing right on the rail. And as he begins to push, it's gonna hold, and then he's gonna have something to push off of. And he said that was the best tip he's ever had in surfing, and he started to progress and surf backside a lot better. All right, let's talk about the backside roundhouse cutback. For me, if I drop in, you got to do a shallow bottom turn, and then I come up in here, I initiate the cutback at the top of the wave, then I come around, and then we rebound over here, and if the wave has more face, I come back around, and I get back to open face again. I'm showing you the pattern. It kind of looks like a figure eight here, just like frontside roundhouse cutbacks that we've been working on. One of the things that you're always going to hear me talk about is one of the hardest things about the roundhouse cutback is how do we keep our speed or gain speed through turns? All right, so let's say this is the top of the wave. And if I initiate at the top, I have from the top of the wave to the bottom of the wave that when I come down, I can utilize the wave face to gain speed. Now, I start at the top. I see a lot of intermediate, even advanced level surfers start their roundhouse cutback more towards the middle of the wave. So they only have from here to the bottom to generate speed and come down. And what I see a lot is when they start it here, when they get to the bottom of this cutback, because they're at the bottom, there's no more speed that they can pull from the wave to generate to get back over here. On wave number one, I came down, got a bottom turn, did a snap, and when I came down to the bottom, I did a shallow bottom turn. I initiated at the top, and when I went to the top and I started to come down, it's imperative, guys, to always look back at the power source. Remember, the head leads the turn, and the body and the board will follow, right? So as I'm coming down, I didn't come all the way down to the bottom of the wave. I came down and I came into more or less the middle, or even, let's say, the bottom third. Now, because I came down here, remember, as I'm traveling on the wave to here, if I need more speed, all I have to do is turn the board downward. Why? Because now I have this much wave face to generate more speed. So I come into the whitewash, and let's say I'm not going vertical, but I'm going to use the whitewash to my advantage, and I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to come off, and it's going to project me around. And I got to come back to the open face and do another roundhouse cutback. And I just followed the same pattern. All right, enough about that. Let's get on our Carver surf skate and start working on a drill together. All right, guys, cones are set. I've got my Rad Ripper with the C7 truck and the back truck both set to medium, so not super loose. I want control. Remember, put your pads and your helmet on so that way you can hit this with some confidence. But this is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be coming from up the street. I'm going to make a shallow bottom turn. I'm going to come in between the cones, and I'm going to compress through here. I'm going to hold the toe side turn, and then I'm going to come in, make a heel side turn off the whitewash, and continue on. The reason I want to do it on a slanted driveway is because this is going to be exactly like what I was talking about, is we've got the slant of the driveway replacing the height of the wave to use to my advantage to generate speed as I go down. When we take this particular exercise to the street, and if the street's flat, that's when I'm going to have to compress and extend through my turns to generate my own speed. One of the main things I want you guys to focus on is when you come in to do this exercise and you come around this turn right here, the reason we're able to hold our speed is because of the slant of the driveway. And remember, I was talking about on the wave, if you take your cutback all the way out to the bottom of the flats of the wave, you're not going to have enough speed to come back up to get to that whitewash. That's why I'm doing it here. And I'm not going to come all the way down there. I'm going to keep it nice and tight, and then I'm going to use the driveway to my advantage, and I'm going to be able to generate or hold my speed the entire time. Now, this is how I want you to set your cones. I gave myself enough space to keep me from the grass. And all I want to do is I want to count out 1, 2, 3 paces, drop the cone, and then I want you to go 1 foot space here, and then move it to there, and we're set. All right, I want you to come in between the cones so you have a nice shallow bottom turn. I want you to come in, hold it, hit the whitewash, right out. All right, now my cutback, I'm gonna really focus on looking back at the cone. Shallow bottom turn, back at the cone, hit the whitewash, right out. Make my shallow bottom turn, come in, hit the whitewash, right out. All right, now the cones are set on the street, so it's relatively flat. I liken this to surfing small mushy waves, and I have to generate all the speed myself because I have no embankment like the driveway or the wave that I would be using to my advantage. So I'm gonna have to compress and extend through turns here. I'm gonna be coming from down the street. This cone represents my shallow bottom turn. As I come in here, I'm gonna initiate the cutback at the top of the wave, and I'm gonna compress here, and I'm gonna have to extend out of that to generate speed, and then I'm gonna compress in here and then extend out as I rebound off the whitewater. Make your shallow bottom turn. It's a tight little figure eight. I'm gonna hold it, we're gonna extend out, we're gonna compress in off the whitewash, right off. All right, so it's gonna be hard to keep my speed up in here. So shallow bottom turn, I wanna hold it, I wanna extend out, I wanna come in, hit the whitewash, right out. Now when you start hitting this tight figure eight drill, you're gonna come in here, and when you come around in this cutback, you're gonna potentially lose speed here. I'm not working on extending and compressing much this episode. I just want you guys to really get used to making a shallow bottom turn and then come in here and looking back at the power source and do everything you can to get back to that power source, rebound off it, and ride off. We'll go into compressing and extending and maximizing speed through our roundhouse cutbacks in episode 2 and 3. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Backside Roundhouse Cutbacks. Remember, episode 2 is done. It's at your fingertips. Just click the link below, join our family, become a patron, and unlock that exclusive content. Look, if you like the show, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.